100 years ago, Nikola Tesla discovered a healing technology that threatened the entire pharmaceutical industry. The day he died, the government seized everything. For 100 years, this technology was hidden. Until now, plasma is back. Tesla Club, tzla.club.
Hantavirus cruise ship latest. Couple's landfill birdwatching trip may be source of deadly outbreak. I don't know about you, but I didn't see it going that way. I didn't get landfill birdwatching when this story was first breaking, but do you know what I mean? It keeps you on your toes, doesn't it? Of course, this started out, this virus outbreak on a cruise ship started out as that's quite bad, news story, and we covered it on Tuesday, and I said it might be worth keeping an eye on because, of course, of that rhetoric of the likes of Bill Gates and the World Health Organization. They're always talking about the next one, and it seems to have grown. So if you've kept up with the news over the last couple of days, it seems to be escalating a bit, which is a bit of a red flag. So it's come from nowhere, of course, as many of these things often do. And no one's ever heard of it. Hantavirus. Have you ever heard of it? I've never heard of it. And I bet you, ladies and gentlemen, that newsrooms across the world were full of people Googling Hantavirus as this story was beginning to break and they were starting to cover it. And of course, that's perfect if you're going to try and run with it, if you're going to try and do something with it. Because most people inherently have a fear of the unknown. It's what really the fear of death is, isn't it? To be honest, it's the fear of the unknown. It's why kids are scared of the dark. It's the fear of the unknown. I can't see what's there. So something like Hantavirus is great because no one knows what it is. Whereas if they say, oh, there's an outbreak of X, Y, and Z, and it's something that's very common, very well known, and everyone has an experience, either personal or of someone they know, related to it, then they can go, oh, yeah, I had that in middle school. Yeah, oh, yeah, I felt crap for a couple of days, yeah. You can attach a knowing to it. You can attach a scenario that was applicable to you. Whereas with Hantavirus, I ain't got a clue, mate. I don't know what it is. It could be awful. Yeah, it could. And you should be frightened then. A Dutch couple who visited a landfill site during a birdwatching tour in Argentina may be the source of the deadly Hantavirus cruise ship outbreak. A birdwatching tour to a landfill site. Sounds like a rubbish holiday, doesn't it? It also sounds made up. Two Argentine officials who spoke on the condition of anonymity, of course they did, said the government's leading hypothesis was that the couple could have been exposed to rodents. What holiday? Exposed to rodents on a trip to this landfill site before boarding the MV Hondius, if I'm saying that right. It's a ship that's named after a family that mapped the New World, famously. Maybe they're seeking to use this to map a whole new world for the rest of us. Who knows? So we appear to have our wet market then, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a landfill site. So you had a wet market in Wuhan with some bats. Now you've got a landfill with some rats. Now, it could be nothing. Of course it could be nothing. But a lot of the early media coverage is very similar to 2020, end of 2019, early 2020. And of course, back then you had the plague ship as well, didn't you? Do you remember you had the cruise ship and it arrived back in the UK? And then you had the coach driver. Everyone was there in hazmat suits and all that stuff as they were evacuated from the ship. He's just sat there like that, bold as brass. No, nothing. He's fine. Don't worry about the driver. Whatever happened to him, by the way? Nothing, I bet. And, of course, in 2020, you had Event 201, which was very famous after the event because it basically mapped out exactly what would happen 6 weeks before they made it happen. Basically down to the last T and the last I. It was ridiculous. Well, of course, here in the UK, at the end of 2025 through into the beginning of 2026, we've had Exercise Pegasus, which is touted as being the largest pandemic preparedness simulation in the UK. Like I say, it might be nothing, but it might be everything. 8 suspected cases of Hantavirus that no one's ever heard of have now been linked to the boat, the World Health Organization said. Glad they're involved, their track record, with 5 of the cases confirmed. Now, I make a joke about, a rubbish holiday because you go into a landfill site to look at birds, but it gets better. We've got a ship that's, supposed to be, so we're told, plague-ridden as a result of bird watchers. And do you know where it's heading? It's heading to the Canary Islands. Can't make it up, can you? But on the subject of the Canary Islands, because it's left Cape Verde where it was parked. Is it parked? Moored off the coast. And it's obviously a few people have gone, they've been taken to hospital, and it's now carrying on to the Canary Islands. But the leadership in the Canary Islands are basically saying they don't want it there. So we've got a bit of an interesting situation with that. And I guess we'll see what happens. But I think if you start seeing cases across Europe, suddenly people start talking about hantavirus, it's suddenly everywhere, then, well, we kind of know at that point they're probably going to go for it. We've got 2 people isolating in the UK who are concerned they've come into contact with it. I don't know if they were at the landfill site at the same time, but they've come into contact with it. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, so this is the blitzkrieg thing. I know obviously my dad's written about that and people have spoke about that before, where if they throw something at you, you can try your best to bat it away. Some will fall for it, some will get sucked in by it, some will get, fall victim to it, whatever. But if you're organising against one thing, then you can fight back against that. So if you think during the COVID nonsense, obviously there was the tough era at the beginning, and then people started to wake up and you go, right, this is how I need to get organised. What do I need to fight back against? Well, I need to fight back against mask mandates, lockdowns that are destroying businesses and livelihoods and mental health and all the rest of it. And I need to fight back against jab mandates. Let's get organised. Let's protest. Let's do this. Let's do that. And that's what people did. Then, of course, Putin killed the Rona, didn't he, when he went into Ukraine? And they've then, ever since, basically just hit you with one thing, then something else, then something else. Now, the idea, I think, is to do it all at the same time. And I've spoke about this before in terms of an analogy with a tennis ball. If I say to you, yeah, I'll catch that, mate, likelihood is, even if you're not really concentrating, you might go, oh, go, yeah, all right, what are you doing? Chucking a tennis ball at me. Whereas if I go, whoop, whoop, then you might catch one, but you struggle to catch 2. Maybe you'll catch 2, but it'll be a struggle, right? Well, all of a sudden, I'm going, right, bang, 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 bang. You ain't getting them all. It's impossible. And so for me, that's kind of what this whole blitzkrieg thing is, where they're chucking everything at us as a population all at once. So you can't get organised. You can't fight back, not with ease, because you've got too much going on. I'll concentrate on that. I've got this person in my ear. You know how it is when you're in a pub and everyone's talking at the same time. In the end, you go, all right, can we just one at a time, mate? This is what it is at the moment. Constant, constant, constant. And of course, we know what they want. We know what they want because they tell us. So they don't want people traveling. They certainly don't want people traveling. They would like people to be dependent on the state. They would like people to have their behaviors changed in terms of what they eat, what they do, where they go, whether they drive, and all that kind of stuff. Now, when you look at what they want, and then you look at, of course, they want the digital money and all that sort of stuff. You look at COVID, for instance, you go, okay, well, you locked people in their house, so you stop people traveling. You, of course, killed independent livelihoods and the rest of it, so people are suddenly more dependent on the state. You allowed the corporations, they were fine. So you couldn't go to the little gym and you couldn't go to the little cafe, but you could go to McDonald's drive-through. So you look after the corporations, you destroy independent livelihoods, because if you destroy independent livelihoods, you destroy freedom. Because if you have your own way of making money and the state says, if you don't do this, we won't give you any money. Well, I don't care. You don't give it to me anyway. I've got my own business, mate. Not anymore, you haven't, son. So they did all that stuff, of course. And then you had, obviously, the medical element with the mRNA nonsense. So that ticked those boxes. And then, of course, after Putin killed the Rona by invading Ukraine, you had the cost of living stuff shot up, which created a situation where people can't really travel because they can't afford to. And, you know, more businesses closed as a result of rising energy bills and stuff. So you get more people dependent on the state. And of course, then you look at what's going on with Iran, with the Strait of Hormuz, with all of this stuff. Again, you're creating a situation where people aren't traveling. You're affecting the food supply with that. So suddenly you're changing people's behaviors in terms of what they can and can't eat, sometimes by what they can afford to eat and what they can't afford to eat. Then you throw this in. So what will be the answer to this? Well, if they run with it, then I'm sure they'll push lockdowns. They'll probably push mask wearing again, that dehumanization of that nonsense. Of course, if they do push lockdowns, then they push the destruction of jobs and they push shortages. All of this stuff is happening at the same time. And you push fear, which is massive, because what that does is that gives you the ability to offer the solution to people's fears, to take, you know, people look to the state and go, help me. And you go, right, okay, well, I'll tell you what, this is what I've got. Here's one I prepared earlier, like Blue Peter. And another big one is censorship. Now, people will look at this, people got ill after going to a landfill, apparently, on a cruise ship. What's that got to do with censorship? Well, what did bat soup in Wuhan have to do with censorship? But that's what happened. What does a war in Iran have to do with censorship? Well, that's what's happened. What has a genocide in Gaza got to do with censorship? Well, that's what happened. Because that's the answer to everything. It's for everyone to shut up. Because they'll push it with, misinformation. There's only one source of truth. It's the World Health Organization. You remember Jacinda Ardern? We are one source of truth. What, like the Ministry of Truth, love? And so at the moment, in terms of the Blitzkrieg, all of the Blitzkrieg things, the war, multiple wars, the cost of living, the economic turmoil, aliens, I don't know, careless tongues sink UFOs, whatever the poster will be. That'll push censorship as well, no doubt, because that's what they do. And then you throw another virus in there, and you've got some chaos. And what do you get when you get chaos? Well, you get people offering you the order out of the chaos, don't you? And of course, like I said earlier, don't forget the magical vaccine. Don't forget the medical element of that, because there'll be one. I bet Pfizer are about to announce a brand new Hantavirus vaccine. How did you develop that so quickly when half of more than half of people work for you didn't even know what antivirus was till they Googled it? I don't know. We'll find a way. And you look at it and you think, they wouldn't do it again. It's the same play. Yeah, it's always the same play, mate. They've got no imagination. They've got none. They've literally got none. It's why they monetize the people's creativity and the people's imagination through taxation, because they don't have any of their own. They've got none. That's why you see the same plays constantly. You're there going, I've seen this film before. It's like watching an episode of Big Bang Theory. Yeah, they're all the same, mate. Yeah, literally, I've watched this one before. But it doesn't stop them playing it out, because you've got no choice. Now, I think with this, we're probably at the testing the public stage. Let's see where the public are. Just like they did with monkeypox. Remember that? Monkeypox was a real big thing. They tested it. I think monkeypox was too humorous. I think they went the wrong way with monkeypox, because it just sounds funny, doesn't it? And no one bought it. And so they backpedaled, and suddenly monkeypox disappeared, didn't it? Well, maybe they're trying again with this. We will see. I just hope people don't buy it.
In 1943, the government seized Nikola Tesla's most dangerous invention, a healing technology that threatened Big Pharma's entire empire. They buried it for 100 years, but it's back, and over 1,000 people worldwide are using it right now. When you join Tesla Club, you get your own Tesla plasma device, 5 times more powerful than the original Violet Ray and built to last. You join a private Telegram group where members share breakthroughs daily. Stroke recoveries, cancer reversals, chronic pain gone in minutes. These aren't stories. These are yesterday's posts. You get lifetime support from people who've been where you are. Technical guidance, therapeutic protocols, a group that actually understands. And you get access to hundreds of documented experiments, real members, real results, real transformations. No prescriptions, no waiting for permission. No begging doctors who don't believe you. Just you, your machine, and a movement taking health sovereignty back. We're Tesla Club, private science club for self-directed healing. Visit tzla.club. Join the revolution.
Plasma.
It's back!
Don't mention the reptiles, Dave.
Even less is said about the Grey Pope, who some believe to be the true ruling power in the Vatican.
Humans emitting a MAC address.
All of them had Bluetooth signals.
I've never seen it before.
Queuing up to transition their children.
This is the ultimate suicide cult.
What if the symbols around us every day aren't just ornamental?
We lost 1,000 years of history.
What if they're instruction?
That state of awareness is not manipulatable.